It is 7 p.m. on a Friday night in San Diego, California. I am 5 weeks into an 8 week stay out here in San Diego because I thought this would be the place I'd want to move to and finally plant roots in. And a week before this Friday night, I decided that what I really want to go to is Austin. And that was kind of my choice. It was like, if it's not San Diego, it's Austin. But I really think it's going to be San Diego. And within a month, I could just have this gut feeling. And there's a lot I could say about this, but ultimately, I'm making the choice to move to Austin, Texas. And so now comes this Friday night. I'm staying at a friend's place. They are away, so I have this whole place to myself. It's a beautiful place. And, what I wanted to do in San Diego was to really explore the culture, meet people, get involved in events to really see if this would be the city for me. And it's been a little difficult to do that. But the weekend is the time to do that, right? The time to go to events and see if you can meet people and get a vibe for the city. And so it's Friday, 7 p.m., and I say, well, I'm moving to Austin, so fuck it. I don't want to do the hard work of meeting people and putting myself out there and going to these events that I enjoy, these spiritual events. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, my life is in Austin. That's where I'm going to build my future. So fuck it. Fuck Friday night. I'm going to smoke some weed, which I really don't do very often, maybe once a month, probably more like every 6 weeks or 2 months. I'm going to smoke some weed, drink half a bottle of wine, get a DiGiorno pizza, watch Project Hail Mary, and eat and get the cookie dough package that you just throw in the oven. Get a package of those and eat some cookies, which I ended up eating about 6 cookies and probably more like 8 cookies if you count the fact that I ate some of the cookie dough as well. And this felt like a full-on collapse. Now, this could seem like, oh, what a nice night to just stay in and like have a night for yourself, but that wasn't my choice. I wasn't making a conscious choice to stay in on a Friday night. It was really just a full-on collapse. It was just like a removal from the life and the situation I was in right now, and it was just a giving up on San Diego and just saying, "Oh, my life is out in Austin." And this is an old pattern I used to play out. And I did this a lot in the corporate space where I was saving so much money. Like, I remember specifically my brother would be like, "Let's go to this concert." And I always be like, "Nah, I can't like afford it." And he's like, "You're an engineer. Like, I think you make more money than I do. Like, what do you mean you can't do this?" And it's like, well, because all of my money was maxed out in my 401k, and I was saving like $600 a month going into another investment account. And like, any extra money beyond like groceries and maybe like a little bit of fun money, like drinking money and stuff, everything else was just going to saving for retirement because I just so badly wanted to save for retirement. Not at 65. I thought if I invested enough money that I could have enough money to retire at 50. And then what? Like, I didn't even know what I wanted then. I just like wanted to escape this corporate engineering life that I found myself in that I didn't love. And this is just a pattern that I play out, and I think we all play out, that there is some future, whether it's getting out of this relationship, or not even just getting out of it, but there's a different job, there's a different relationship, there's a different city, there's somewhere else that will allow me to be fully myself. And the problem is, and that I have found, is that, again, I've played this out so much. Even the girl I was dating, and actually she's my fiance, in New York City. And we hated New York, and we left, and we blamed our relationship problems on New York City. So we escaped New York City. We moved to Colorado. We switched careers, and it took us about a year. But once we were settled into Colorado, we were finally settled, and we realized, oh, it's not the city, it's us. We have a relationship problem. There's no place you can get to that is going to give you that freedom you hope to have. The freedom to be fully yourself, the freedom to experience more joy and love, the freedom to just be who you want to be, that lighthearted, excited version of you. Because everywhere you go, there you are. And so this Friday night was me playing out that pattern again. And again, if I had a conscious choice to be like, I'm spending the night in, I'm complete with that, I'm okay with that, I'm gonna have a little drink, a little wine, some cookies, a pizza, like, that's one thing, and I think that's a beautiful thing to do. And by the way, Project Hail Mary is a fucking incredible movie, and you should watch it. But that's not what that night was. That night was just a full-on collapse. I was just like giving up, and I was escaping, and I was playing this old pattern where I'd say, When I get to Austin, then I will go to all these events, then I will make friends, then I will show up to more of these events, then I'll host these events, and I will be the guy that I want to be. But the thing is, you will go to Austin or you will be in the new relationship or whatever it might be, and you will just be the exact same person you are right now. So even when I get to Austin, I might feel more excited and energized, but it still requires me to show up and be the person I want to be. I'm still going to have to transform into that person. Austin isn't going to magically make me that person. I have to choose to do it. And I think the beautiful thing is, I woke up the next day after that Friday, Saturday morning, I woke up and with no shame, this is really important, no shame, without any shame, I just noticed what I did. And I loved myself for collapsing. I loved myself for kind of giving up. And there's an old version of me that would have given up for those full 3 weeks and just like said, fuck it. Like I actually did that last year when I was traveling abroad and I didn't want to travel abroad anymore. And I said, fuck it, I'm just giving up. So instead of that lasting weeks, it only lasted that night. And I woke up the next day and I said, I am going to break this pattern. Because what I think is the beautiful part of all of life is that if we go on continuing to think that somewhere, something else will give us access to our joy and happiness, it will just never be the case. But what I think is a really cool way to approach life is to say, even if I'm in a job I don't like, I'm in a relationship I don't like, I'm in a city I don't like, even if that is true, can I be exactly who I want to be right now? And instead of collapsing and escaping, you become that person. And so like I have these comments that I've had in some of my content where people are like, okay, like I would love to go pursue a life that I love, but like I'm at this corporate job that I don't love. And I'm like, great, your job, and I wish I did this when I was in corporate, your job isn't to need to leave corporate because you think that being an entrepreneur will magically give you access to love and joy and light and all that stuff, because it won't. Like, being an entrepreneur is just as hard. Your job is to show up at work every day. And even if work is your hell, how do you show up as the most energizing, excited, playful, fun version of you? So much so that it might be a little weird. It might be not the way that anyone at this company behaves, which is probably why it drains you. But you get to be the change you wish to see in the world right now, regardless of the circumstance. And what you will find is that by becoming that person, not only will your work environment probably improve when you just become the person you want to be, the work environment will improve. You'll probably inspire other people to be a little bit loose, a little bit more playful, a little bit more fun. But also, it's probably the thing that's going to get you the thing that you actually want, which might be to leave the corporate career and actually, be an entrepreneur or make money as a content creator, make money hosting events or whatever outside of work that gives you enough income that you could finally leave. It's becoming that person now in every aspect of your life. That's the beautiful thing. And if you can do that in a job you hate, in a relationship you hate, in a city you hate, or not that I hate the city that I'm in, but if you can do that in the places that you don't love, imagine what it will be like when you are in the situation that only amplifies that version of you. But that situation isn't going to magically make you become that person. It is only going to amplify who you already are. And if you can become that person, like I said, in the places you don't like, then when you finally are in those spaces, it will just be amplified. It will accelerate. You'll be feeling these feelings and you'll be achieving more things at a faster rate. And that's truly what I found. And so it's not like I'm perfect. I'm just trying to notice when I collapse faster and when I'm playing this version of escapism, when I think that the person I want to become in the future is somewhere in something else. How fast can I catch myself and just become that person right now? And so an interesting thing happened when I made this video and another video on this topic is that I haven't gotten a single comment of anybody being like, yeah, I live in Austin, it's great, can't wait for you to be here. Every comment so far has been like, why the hell would you choose Austin? I live in Austin now, used to live in San Diego, like why would you do that? San Diego is perfect weather. All this stuff, every comment is like telling me I'm making a mistake. What a beautiful opportunity. Because I've spent my life offloading my decisions into everybody else. You can call it the people pleaser in me that just wants to make other people happy, but there's this deep sense that what I want isn't really a good idea, that I don't know what's right for myself and everybody else already knows what's right for me. And if I just listen to them and I'll be a good boy and I'll do the thing and I'll do a really good job, that I'll get A's in school, that I'll do really good at my corporate job. And then somewhere, once I get all of this approval and and everyone was like, "Yeah, you did the thing I told you to do. Great job, Matt," that I'll be happy. And that has just never been the case because I was a civil engineer and I wasn't happy. I did get the good grades and get the good job and live in the greatest city in the world and have this amazing project, and I wasn't happy. And I do the same thing with the entrepreneurial career, that I think some mentor or coach has some magical like path for me. And if I follow his perfect path, that then I'll be happy. Then I'll have done it all right. And that my mentor would be like, "Good job, you did it." And the world would be like, "Oh, here's all this money because you did it right." And it's just never the case. And so I'm noticing that I'm getting this opportunity with all these comments to be like, not a single comment being like, "Yeah, Matt, good call. Austin, Texas is the place to be." I don't fucking care. I know in my heart and in my soul that I want to be in Austin, Texas. And I also don't know that any city's perfect. And I've been to San Diego, I've been to Bend, Oregon, Denver, Colorado, New York City. I've lived in a lot of places. I've visited other countries, and I don't think one place has everything. I just don't, unfortunately. I think every city might has their little micro flaw. But what feels the most in alignment with you and what is priority? And to me, like growing my business and my purpose in life to help people pursue their soul's desire and tell their stories and go after what they really want in life is one of my biggest priorities. Probably the biggest priority is to help people do that and to be of service in that way. Also, my health and fitness is a huge priority, and Austin is one of the biggest health and wellness cities in the world, and like everyone's doing something and building something around that. And that includes sports and stuff. And then there's a spiritual aspect, and I know that Austin has a big spiritual community as well, kind of goes hand in hand with the wellness. And so I know that that's there. And I might miss out on things like I wish there were mountains in Austin. But that's okay because flights to Colorado are like $50 and I can fly there and visit my best friend Taylor in Austin and stay with him and go on my big trail runs and get my fix there. I'm not a beach person, so like San Diego doesn't really need to be that thing. And it's a closer time zone to the East Coast where my family lives. I think it'll be easier to connect with my family and FaceTime because the 3 hour difference here is a bit challenging. So anyway, there's a lot of reasons why I know Austin's, and I love the heat, and I love the humidity, I love sweating, and I love that, and it just makes me feel like a kid. You know, growing up in Connecticut, I was doing this meditation, and one morning, and you know, I've been having these thoughts of like, should I move to Austin? Should I move to Austin? And I was there last June, and I got this fixie single speed bicycle, and I rode that everywhere. And I was just like, why did I love Austin so much? And I was like, man, being on that bike made me feel like a kid again. And oh, the humidity, like it's more humid than Connecticut, but I grew up with that humidity in Connecticut in the summer days. And I loved it. It was nostalgic. It made me feel like a kid. And why not chase that feeling? It was so beautiful. And so I know, despite what I said earlier about like this place won't make me become the person I want to be, but environment does hold a big weight into giving you more access to the person you want to become. So it's kind of like a yes and, if I'm being honest. Like I know within my heart of hearts that Austin is the place to be, and I'm not counting on Austin to fix all my problems. I still want to become the person I get to become no matter what. Because I'll never be in the perfect situation. Life will always throw challenges at you. I want to make it my automatic habit to be exactly who I want to be no matter what, even if I get presented with my most fearful, hellful situation, that I could just be fully myself. And so anyway, so, you know, I get this opportunity to like, oh no, am I going to let all these comments on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook be the thing that that makes me collapse and be like, oh, maybe I'm going to doubt myself, and maybe I should rethink this whole San Diego thing, or maybe it is Denver. Like, no, it's Austin, and I know it is. And I am not going to continue to play the game of offloading my decisions to everybody else. And that's what God and the universe is offering me, I believe, with these comments. Like I can feel the questioning, and I'm like, I'm not questioning it. And again, that's a thing that I would have let control me, or I would have like let sprout seeds of doubt into my consciousness. But I just notice it and I go, haha, I just laugh at it. I say, thanks for the opportunity, universe, to doubt myself. I'm not going to doubt myself. Austin's the place to be. And so everything I want to share with you just comes down to these two core things, which is like everywhere you go, there you are. And there is no other situation which will help you become who you want to be. You must become that person now. And you need to understand, what is it? What do I want? Who do I want to be? And am I spending every day unapologetically going after that version of myself? And it's okay to collapse. And it's okay to be afraid. But what are you really afraid of? And haven't you noticed that in your whole life, you're alive. You're okay. You're okay still to this day. You still find people who end up loving you. So everything you're afraid of doesn't actually become true. You have people who love you and support you, and you're alive, and the person you want to become is on the other side of those fears. And so why not, instead of collapsing, lovingly notice it and then go, what am I so afraid of? And then lean into the fear. Go do the thing. Because the only way you become the person you want to become is by leaning into the fear and actually experiencing, subjecting yourself to potentially experiencing that fear. Like if you want to host an event and you're afraid nobody will show up, and if nobody shows up, that means you're a piece of shit and a loser and you're not worthy of having success and being listened to and all that stuff. Well, then let's find out. Because all the work you're doing before actually experiencing that thing is actually just the fake work. Let's go find out who you become when you host an event and nobody shows up. And if you host an event and nobody shows up, who do you become? Do you let yourself believe that you are unworthy and nobody loves you and all of this stuff and all this BS? Let's find out. Let's do that work. Chances are people are going to show up. People will show up, even if it's one person, two people, you know? Um, but you don't really get to face those fears until you do the thing. So just do the damn thing and love yourself when you collapse. Love yourself when you fall off the wagon, and get back on the wagon and enjoy the freaking journey. The best way to love the journey is by, I've talked about death cookies before. It's like eating those death cookies, doing the scary thing. It will free up energy. It will give you exponential energy. And that's beautiful. And so ultimately, you have an opportunity, no matter what situation you are in right now, you have an opportunity to behave as the person you want to be, that joyful, light version of you, even if you aren't in the situation or place you want to be. And then the second thing is that nobody else has the key to your happiness. Nobody else knows what can make you happy. Nobody else knows the right decision for you. You need to just continually ask that question. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? What is stopping me from getting it? And can I take a small step towards taking that action right now? And by the way, as long as I'm going to take action, can I make it a little bit more fun? How can I make this a little bit more fun? Can I play my favorite song while I do it? Can I dance before I take action? Can I call up a friend who will get me hype? Like, there's always something you could do to make the situation a little bit more fun. And I hope you give yourself the opportunity to do that and smile, even just smiling. Throwing on a fake smile, psychologically, it works. It'll make you feel better. Deep breaths and a freaking smile. Let's get after it. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. Peace.